Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.
Isaac S. George, I like to say welcome to my portion of our today's broadcast, and I also like to say it is such a fascinating moment for us as Liberians, to have just celebrated the Flag Day in recent times, and it is particularly important, all right, for us to recognize the significance of such a national symbol. Again, I like to say welcome to my portion of our today's broadcast on the National Discourse, a platform where we discuss critical national issues. We bring to your attention our own analysis as per all of those national issues that are, parading the political climate of our country, and as well as giving to you, the opportunity for you to participate on the platform this evening, and as usual. But then, before we go to the major talking points that we have here this evening, it is very much imperative that we, get connected with Lovetta Davis, as we usually do, to ensure that she read for us, our major headlines, those of the happenings that have, gotten the public's attention. Lovetta is always, pretty seated to ensure that she read for us the news and have our listeners informed as per what she has been able to gather so far. So let us establish contact with Lovetta. Lovetta, good evening.
Good evening, Isaac. Good evening to our listeners in Radio Land and of you watching via our Facebook page, LIB Future TV. Welcome to today's trending news update with me, Lovetta Davis. ANC and Alexander Cummings propose special anti-corruption code to combat corruption crimes. The political leader of the Alternative National Congress, Alexander Cummings, has proposed the establishment of a special anti-corruption court and enforcement mechanisms to hold corrupt officials accountable within the Unity Party government. Although many officials are arrested and charged, the conviction rate is poor and the time for trials are very extended. Alexander Cummings says a special court can fast track these cases, and by tackling corruption and ending wasteful spending, Liberia will realize a more efficient and effective government, one that works for all Liberians. Falana criticized National Bar Association invitation to former Liberian President Weah. Former president of the West African Bar Association, Femi Falana, has criticized the Nigerian Bar Association for inviting former Liberian President George Mani Weah to address its 66th annual General Conference in Port Harcourt. Falana, who was speaking as a panelist at the conference held under the theme Beyond Limits, urged the National Bar Association to reconsider inviting African leaders whom he described as dictators to address professional legal gatherings. I want to appeal that the Bar Association must stop inviting dictators in Africa to come and address us, Falana said, referring to Weah's appearance at the conference. The former bar leader accused Weah's administration, which governed Liberia from 2018 to 2024, of undermining judicial independence and failing to comply with decisions of the ECOWAS Court of Justice. Falana cited cases involving residents of the Mandingo region whose land and property were allegedly seized during Liberia's Civil War. He said the ECOWAS court ruled in their favor but alleged that the Weah administration failed to implement the judgment. He also referenced the case of a former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court.
Lovero, are you there? Hello, Loveta?
To Falana,
Loveta?
then coming here to talk to us about democracy for the creditors. We are all crisis, pointing to prosecution of from our Taylor information. The allegations against judicial determination, decision to travel to Qatar, represent the United States doing accurate that the former focus on Liberia's the National Bar Association stronger democratic judicial across Africa. Liberian president wants to not guarantee democratic leaders can become a and their weak.
I think we lost contact with Loveto. We are trying to establish contact with Loveto. We appeal for your patience, the exercising of your patience, fellow listeners. Let us use the telephone line to establish contact with Loveto, as the internet is ensuring that we do not establish contact with Loveto. I think there is a technical glitch. Let us try to also try to contact our technician in studio to ensure that we re-establish contact with Loveto. Let me try to get Loveto again on the line so that she can. Hello, Loveto. Hello, Loveto. I think it is a network glitch. But fellow Liberians, I like to say again, good evening to every one of you. My name is Isaac S. George, and I'm excited as usual to be seated in your studio this evening to have a conversation with you pertinent to all of the major happenings across our country. And we are going to give our own perspective and lay out exactly, what we think the national government should do, national government shouldn't be doing, and as well as the position of other political figures in our country, what we think it is, particularly important for these conversations to be held. So, as I said, my name is Isaac S. George, and I am very, very happy to be seated in this studio this evening to have a conversation with every one of you who listen to us regularly. We want to again, I think we've been able to re-establish contact with Lavetta. Lavetta, are you there?
Yeah, Isaac, are you getting me loud?
Yes, you're allowed. Please go ahead.
Okay. We have, however, used his keynote address at the National Bar Association conference to call for stronger democratic institutions and an independent judicial across Africa. The former Liberian president warned that elections alone do not guarantee democracy, arguing that elected leaders can become authoritarian when they weaken state institutions and undermine judicial independence. A tyrant with a certificate of return is still a tyrant. We are told the gathering stressing that electoral legitimacy does not give leaders the right to undermine constitutional institutions. The change has brought renewed attention to debates over democratic governance, judicial independence, and the rule of law in Africa, particularly concerning the responsibilities of former and sitting political leaders.
Hello, Lavetta. Are you there again? Hello, Lavetta.
Yeah, Isaac, I'm here. ANC Europe announces online fundraiser to support fight against drugs in Liberia. The Alternative National Congress NC Europe is set to host an online fundraising event aimed at mobilizing Liberians and friends of Liberia in support of efforts to combat drug abuse and protect young people. The initiative, dubbed the Champions of Change online fundraiser, is being presented as a call for unity and collective actions in addressing the growing drug challenge facing Liberia. Former Coca-Cola executive and NC political leader Alexander Cummings is expected to serve as the special guest at the event. Other permanent figures and leaders from NC Europe, NC America, NC Liberia, and the wider NC family are also expected to participate. According to the organizers, the fundraiser is intended to go beyond financial contribution by encouraging Liberians at home and abroad to stand together and support initiatives aimed at building a safer and better future for the country. The organizers are urging individuals to join the event, contribute to the cause, and share the message with others. The online fundraiser is scheduled for Saturday, August 29, 2026 at 9 p.m. Central European Time and will be held via Zoom with the meeting link expected to be shared by the organizers. The campaign is being promoted under the message One Liberia, One People, One Fight Against Drugs. Joel Howard Taylor transferred to Monrovia Central Prison after bail request denied. Former Liberian Vice President Joel Howard Taylor has been transferred to the Monrovia Central Prison following a court decision denying a request by her lawyers for her to return to the hospital for further medical care. During Tuesday's proceedings, Taylor's legal team asked the court to allow her to remain at the hospital, arguing that she had not fully recovered and should be permitted to return for treatment. The lawyers reportedly proposed that she be brought back to court on the date set for the preliminary hearing. However, the judge denied the request, paving the way for Taylor's transfer to the Monrovia Central Prison. Taylor is facing charges linked to an ongoing investigation into an alleged transitional drug trafficking network. Her detention also comes amid discussions over provision of Liberia's drug law concerning bail. Authorities have maintained that certain offenses under the law are not bailable. Many suspects charged under those provisions may not be eligible for release on bail. Taylor's legal team is expected to continue pursuing legal options as the case proceeds towards the preliminary hearing. And away from Liberia, Guinea dismisses 173 soldiers, including permanent coup era commander. Guinean President Mamadi Doumbouya has dismissed 173 soldiers from the country's armed forces for alleged desertion, according to a decree read on national television Monday. Among those removed from service is Commander Michel Laman, a member of Guinea's Special Forces Group, who gained prominence following the September 5, 2021 military coup that ousted former President Alpha Conde. Laman popularly claimed a central role in the operation that led to Conde's capture at the presidential palace during the military takeover. Following the coup, Lama gradually disappeared from public view, fueling speculation about his whereabouts. Unconfirmed reports at the time suggested that he may have been arrested or even killed. However, Lama unexpectedly resurfaced on New Year's Eve in 2024 alongside President Doumbouya. The president's wife and Commander Kamara, another permanent figure in the 2021 coup, who had spent an extended period in detention and away from public view. Lama remained visible at public events with Doumbouya for some time before once again disappearing from the public scene. His latest dismissal now places the coup era commander among 173 soldiers removed from Guinea's armed forces over allegations of desertion. The decree marks another development involving members of the military figures who play prominent roles in the events surrounding the 2021 takeover that brought Doumbouya to power. That was a news update from Liberia. My name is Lavelle Davis. Good evening.
Thank you so kindly, Lavetta Davis, for joining us this evening and reading our news. We look forward to having you tomorrow as you again, read for us our news. Thank you very much and see you tomorrow.
All right, Asi, it's always a pleasure being here.
Thank you. So, fellow Liberians, that was exactly, the reading of our news, and we like to again welcome you to a portion of our today's broadcast on Kia 95.9 FM. I'm Isaac S. George in your company this evening, having a conversation that is pertinent or that surrounds the interest of our country, a conversation that borders and anchor on the progress that our nation is to make and how imperative it is for each and every one of us to get involved with all of those matters that are very important for the nation. We are no longer going to the butchers, and as a result of that, we must be able to utilize every means possible, such as the radio, to ensure that our voices be heard, as well as we contribute to national development through these kind of civil exchanges. I will do something on the show this evening that is very much unusual. I want to have a form of introduction of something very unique, wherein I will place call to few individuals for the listeners, to have their own perspective being said to elicit their own opinion as it relates to major national issues across our country. I'm going to put calls, to those individuals, and as you listen, they are going to, be able to state exactly what they do think. Those individuals are prominent individuals within our country. They are playing, governmental roles, advocacy roles, and we want to ensure that we utilize this platform to have them participating so that you can have, a feel and experience of their own perspective. But there have been so many things going on in the country, right? The Joel Howard Taylor saga, corruption ongoing in our country, the recent ANC press release, pardon. They recently released a press statement to the public. I think if you are familiar with the internet, you will understand that, yes, indeed, they did write a press statement to the public. And Mr. Cummings is out there, trying to governance resources, collecting monies, and ensuring that, they come back to contribute to the fact in order to mitigate, the menace, the drugs menace in our country. And one of the matters that is very important as well is the issue of those deportees from the United States of America. We will dive deep into that particular happening. We are going to tell you exactly how we do feel. We are going to disclose some of the, misgovernance in respect to that particular deportation exercise between the Liberian government and that of the United States government. We are going to give in our own perspective. But then I want you to listen to the youth chairperson of the Alternative National Congress, Aliyu Kaidi, on the line. I am trying now to establish contacts with him so that he can participate on our platform this evening as I ask him several other questions that are very important to the national happenings across our country, beginning with, Joel, the ANC press conference, Mr. Cummings, and specifically matters concerning, the Alternative National Congress. So let us try to establish contact with the youth chairperson of the Alternative National Congress, Aliyu Kaidi. So remain there, fellow Liberians, as I, tried to establish contact with the good evening, Aliyu Kaidi, chairman of the Alternative National Youth Congress, the Indomitable National Youth Congress. Good evening. You are live on the national. Oh, I think we lost Aliyu Kaidi there. Oh, I'm coming. Let me try to re-establish contact. Okay, Aliyu Kaidi says we should talk to him exactly 7:30. So in the next 6 minutes, we will re-establish contact with the chairperson of the Youth Congress of the Alternative National Congress, Aliyu Kaidi, to give his own perspective pertinent to matters across our state. But let us begin by having a conversation that is very important. I do not know as to whether this country at this point in time has become a safe haven for deportees. Liberia needs so many things. Liberia needs a lot of things. But for Liberia as a nation state, as an impoverished state, to accept individuals that are deportees from the United States of America on the basis of having received allegedly $5 million United States dollars to have foreigners coming to our country and perhaps residing here, some of whom have decided not to even step foot on the soil of the Republic of Liberia. And fellow Liberians, it will get you particularly surprised for you to realize that this particular deportation exercise was in exchange. I want to re-emphasize, this particular deportation exercise was in exchange of the elongation or perhaps the advancement of the visa given to the visa waiver given to Liberians that will go to the United States of America. It used to be 18 months, right? But it was augmented or increased to 3 years visa waiver, for Liberians that are going to the United States of America, fellow Liberians. And as per our own investigation, we tend to realize that this administration is doing so many cynical activities. They are carrying on clandestine activities to provide a picture or to present a picture where individuals that may be apologists or Liberians that are easily pacified, right, to a greater deal, I can be able to adulate or perhaps thank the government for making such a significant progress. They will be able to characterize the administration as a one that is in the interest of Liberians in its entirety, and nothing shady, nothing unpatriotic, nothing on nationalistic, or nothing on government is happening across our country or behind the scene by the administration of the day. But I like to remind you that is not the case, fellow Liberians. That is exactly not the case. And we want you to have an understanding. We want you to have a feeling that yes, indeed, what is going on in this country, what Liberia is currently confronted by, is such a reality that is damning, unacceptable, and commendable, and condemnable. Pardon, it is very condemnable, right? So we are saying that those deportees that came on the soil of our country, why did they come here? Instead of us requesting teachers, qualified international instructors, instead of us requesting assorted medical materials, instead of us requesting finances or agricultural equipment to boost economic growth and spur agricultural improvement in our state, we as a nation state are getting involved with a negotiation that is going to bring deportees from the United States of America to the Liberian soil. For me, I think it is a dramatization of unpatriotism, because this nation of ours is already impoverished. Why are you bringing people who have been illegally residing in the United States of America to our country? Why is that happening? Why is it taking place in such regard, fellow Liberians? It is a matter of conversation. It is a matter that should be discussed to a greater extent. It is something that we must be able to speak to. But then before we, continue with all of the major happenings across our country, like I said, we at 7:30, we will establish contact with the youth chairperson of the Alternative National Congress, Aliyu Kaidi, and we will soon get Aliyu Kaidi on the line to speak to those issues that we think is important or imperative that he speak to. Good evening, Chairman Aliyu Kaidi of the Alternative National Youth Congress of the Alternative National Congress. We are excited to having you on the National Discourse this evening on Kia Radio 95.9 FM. You are live also on LIB Future TV via Facebook. Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, Comrade Isaac George. It's a pleasure appearing this night via conversation on the telephone. And also, good evening to your listener and Liberians across the country.
So thank you so very much for joining us this evening on the platform. We see this unique opportunity as an honor and a privilege. Before we go to our talking point, how is the Alternative National Congress?
Well, the Alternative National Congress is alive and well. So far, we've heard whispers in different corridors that as it stands, the Alternative National Congress is the most realistic choice to take Liberia from this quagmire we are experiencing, leadership deficit. We've heard rhetorics over the past time, different rhetorics. People get a number, this person popular. We have tried all those scenarios, but yet still, the material condition of the people still remain the same. We have a dilapidated healthcare system. We still have fracas on the campuses of the University of Liberia. The economic reality still stares the people in the face. So, in spite of all those prerequisites people have given to us over the years, that you need to be popular, you need to come from a tribal background, you need to serve in government, you need to get government experiences. We have tried all those things, and the Liberian people are tired because those things have not been able to transform the material condition in the country and attract foreign direct investment and position the country in a way that Liberians and future generation can be proud of. That is what people are saying now, that the ANC is the alternative because we have not been to power before, and the character we are supporting, Mr. Cummins, he has what it takes to transform this country.
So thank you so very kindly, Honorable Chairperson. Let us begin by the most talked about saga ongoing in our country, the matter for which every Liberian have now been concerned about, and you hear misviews, counter views. You listen to other individuals concurring with the administration of the day in regards to the former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor, her own connection allegedly by the Liberian National Police as per their own indictment report, in connection to the 3.17 million drug saga that is lingering in the public space of our country. Her own quote unquote, connection with the drug cartel. Today, the Honorable Vice President, was taken to the Monrovia Central Prison after having left the criminal court upon refusal from the judge for her to, go to her residence. After that particular happening, she was being told to, go to the Monrovia Central Prison. Chairperson, let us listen to your own perspective pertinent to that before we move to other matters. Hello, are you there?
What I think, are you getting me?
Yes, you were muted, but I'm hearing you now.
Okay, thank you. What I think is that, first of all, everyone in this country is governed by the laws of the land.
Mm-hmm.
The Constitution, the Penal Code, statutes, we are all under the guardianship
Okay.
All of the people who were arrested or probably suspended or dismissed, the president did so on the basis of allegation. As it stands, nobody has been found guilty. Under our law, presumption of innocence is premier until otherwise proven in a court of competent jurisdiction. The government is arguing that Bashir took the vice president to Dubai to establish connection with a cookie kingpin. The president's son also admitted in a press release that he went to Spain with somebody who the country now knows to be a cartel member. If it is on the basis of that visit that the government is prosecuting the former vice president, we think it is in the interest of the government and in the interest of credibility and impartiality to also investigate the president's son. Because this is the president's son who also in his press statement stated that he told his friends, his colleagues, that if they were ever caught in cocaine or narcotics, he wouldn't have provided them protection. So the question is, did the president's son know something? Why out of a sudden would the president's son start to talk to his friends that if they were ever involved in narcotics? Did he send something? Because it is not an ordinary conversation for you and your friends to just be sitting down and you say, comrades, if they ever caught you in cocaine, I will not protect you. It means the president's son knew or must have known that his friends were involved in narcotics. And today, almost all of his friends he were talking about, they are now persons of interest on an investigation. So the president's son cycle, he knew that they were involved with drugs. What about the president's friend, Mark Kuyaka? Why is it that the government moved with force and vigor to arrest the former vice president on the basis of the same allegation? Today, Mark Kuyaka, the government is not able to arrest Mark Kuyaka because he's the stepson to Joseph Boakai. That is impartiality. That is partiality, sorry. And you cannot establish credibility and gain public trust when you are having differential treatment with different people involved in the same narcotics investigation. What is happening with Johnny Boladin? What is happening with Kwabo? What is happening with Anthony Bly? What is happening with the deputy administration head at the NSA? All these people, what is going on? So it is very convenient for the government to go after their perceived opponents and people in opposition, but just within their ranks. And what is even important is that excuse me without admitting that the vice president, the former vice president, got involved on the basis of a relationship established in Dubai. The way the cartel operate is this. They will always need people in position of influence and authority to make things easy for them in a given space or country.
Yeah.
Now that the vice president, the former vice president, is no longer in power, who inherited her position in government? Is it the current vice president? Because when you listen to the police director, he said there are very, very senior government officials in this government who are involved.
Yes.
So if you are investigating the former vice president on the basis of things that happened in 2022, 2021, 2019, what about the almost $500 million jobs that came in the country in 2026? Was it the former vice president that brought in those narcotics? So the government is joking. What they are trying to do is to set up a dangerous precedent, because if Joseph Boakai is no longer in power, the anger and aggression in the opposition community now will go after a family. The fact that he's not able to prosecute his son on the basis of the same allegation around him, the opposition, when they come to power, they're going to prosecute him. And unfortunately, that is going to create a vicious cycle. You come after me, when I come to power, I come after you. That is why the ANC is saying to break away from this vicious cycle of witch hunting, Also in the ANC is not part of this problematic situation in the country.
Sure.
We are not associated with drugs or no allegation. We are saying the economy is key to us. We want to empower our people. We want to attract foreign direct investment. So far, this Joseph Walker government has not been able to attract investment to our country to create jobs for people. What they have successfully done is to attract cookie and BMs in our country.
Wow.
Cookie and BMs in our country. If you listen to the DEA, most of them are distracted now with the cookie thing. But Kush has raised it to over 80% in the country now.
Yes, I actually recently, read a report as such, and the increment of Kush is very, very much something alarming for the government to take control of.
Exactly. So those young people who are in the ghettos, these people cannot afford cookie, but they are all Kush. They are all marijuana. So what is the government doing? This very government, instead of building rehabilitation centers for young people that are falling victim to drugs, they are building political party headquarters across the 15 counties. So we brought you to power to come and rescue your party headquarters. So Isaac, this is extremely frustrating, and Liberians are watching and taking note to deliver the verdict in 2029.
Yes, so
what is happening with the Justice Ministry and the police director? All these people stealing from Liberian people, conflicting account of things that are happening. What is going on? Who is in charge of the state? Is the country now on autopilot? What is happening with the old man? They say he has over 40 plus years government experience. Is this the experience they were talking about? If this is the experience, then God spare us this experience.
Yes, so the Alternative National Congress political leader, Mr. Alexander Bennett Cummings, is in the United States of America currently. I may have an insight as it relates to the reason for which he is in the United States, but then I think there are slews of individuals following this platform this evening, live and via the radio, Honorable Chairperson. Can you bring us up to speed as to what exactly Mr. Cummings is doing in the United States of America, and what can Liberians, stand to benefit from his presence in the United States of America, and what can the ANC as well stand to benefit as a political institution?
So Mr. Cummings' first visit to the U.S. is anchored on many things. Even while he's in the U.S., he's not disconnected from the politics on the ground.
Okay.
He recently released a statement giving our position on this whole drugs investigation in the country. He's also in the U.S. to rally Liberians. You saw him. There's a program happening now in the U.S., the ANC Convention and Fundraiser. He's trying to strengthen the party in the diaspora to get more and more Liberians on board, because it needs Liberians from all walks of life.
Definitely.
To build the society we all envision. So the ANC Global is organizing a convention and fundraiser. What is also key on the agenda is this drugs crisis. The ANC has inherited the drug crisis as a signature policy of the party. And that is why the party is getting ready to invest in young people. You know, the first major public appearance of Mr. Cummings in Liberia was in West Point. When he went to West Point, interacted with disadvantaged youth on the West Point sport page. He even took some of them to rehab centers. And I remember we even donated assorted materials, mattresses to a rehab center in Battery Factory. So the ANC is taking this seriously. So Mr. Cummings is saying, beyond lamenting that the government is not performing in terms of rehabilitating young people, I think the party, the institution, can begin to make some intervention in that regard. So that is why Mr. Kumi is out there trying to rally the global branch of the ANC, trying to talk to partners in the US and also talk to international friends to pay key attention to what is happening in Liberia with respect to the cookie crisis. And you could see the US embassy issue a statement that they are involved. Even when Mr. Cummings was saying Liberia, you talk about engaging international friends so that their attention can be called on this cookie thing because we don't trust the government to investigate herself. Most of the security people in the architecture of the state, they have been the one being accused. You look at everybody, look at the joint security, the embassy, the police, the DEA, these are all compromised institutions that have been dangerously infiltrated by the cartel. So that is why maybe some international people attention need to be called on this thing. And those are the dimension Mr. Comey is taking from strengthening the party in terms of helping young people in the ghettos to get rehabilitated, engaging them in a way that we can convince them to leave the ghetto, enroll some of them, call government attention to building rehab centers across the country, and also to strengthen Liberian diaspora, especially those that are in the ANC global, because we need expertise to come and fix this broken system.
Okay.
Mr. Cummings is seriously working in that direction.
Yes, so thank you so very kindly. But before we leave you, Honorable Chairperson, in recent times, I was just speaking about this matter. In recent times, our country received 200. Is it 200? I think 220 individuals that have been deported from the United States of America as a negotiation undertaken by the United States of America in our country, the Republic of Liberia, as it relates to a deportation spree where those foreign nationals, non-Africans, by the way, can come to our country and to reside here. And it is alleged, or perhaps as to our own knowledge, the government received 5 million in exchange of that, and also this entire, extension of visa for Liberians was being particularly negotiated. I mean, what have you got to say?
It is sad that instead of attracting investors, scientists, medical practitioners, engineers to our country, we are accepting criminals from the United States of America. And this is what is frustrating. When our president went to the United States, President Donald Trump said, where did he learn his English? He speaks good English. Many Liberians were excited, thinking that would have attracted something good to Liberia. And we started attracting criminals, condemned people from the United States of America to come and live in Liberia or possibly seek asylum in Liberia. And the government has not even been honest with the entire conversation. They haven't explained to the Liberian people on what conditions, how much money was given for this operation, how long will these people have to stay here, and if they eventually file for asylum, on what condition. These things need to be clear. That is what any serious government or transparent government will do. Now, what crimes did these people commit in the United States of America? Do we have security here to respond to the kind of expertise in criminality some of these people are bringing to our country? If you look at what dividend the Liberian government is getting, we are hearing information that other countries are getting far more than what Liberia is getting. Why do we always settle for less? And I think all these things are piling up in the country, and Liberians are getting angry. And that anger will be expressed at the ballot box. We are not going to break the state down in chaos that the current president threatened during the campaign that the state was going to end if he didn't win. No, we are going to rally our people, and there will be a massive protest at the ballot comes 2029.
Yes, so thank you, Chairman. Before we leave you to go, lastly, but most importantly, we like to ask you, as we draw closer to 2029, as Liberians are yearning for progress. I mean, unprecedented progress. And you support the Alternative National Congress and serve in the capacity as the chairperson of the Youth Congress, Honorable Chairman. What can your listeners and those of the people that are following live, I hope to see from the Cummings presidency? It is a question that has been usually asked, and people continue to ask such of question as the one they usually ask, as the one I'm asking you, right? So, what can we hope to see from the presidency of Mr. Cummings, and what is he bringing to the presidency were he to be elected as we go forth to 2029?
The first thing, what is Liberia in desperate need of?
Mm-hmm.
Liberia is in desperate need of investment that will create employment for our people.
Mm-hmm.
We have massive unemployment rate in the country. You have thousands of people graduating from different universities across the country and different vocational institutions. The moment they graduate, they fall right into the unemployment line.
Mm-hmm.
There's no job market to absorb these people. They turn to unemployed professionals. You have a lot of struggling graduates and unemployed degree holders roaming the street in Monrovia. That is what Mr. Cummings wants to fix. Because the bottom line is, when people have jobs, they can take care of their families. They will pay their hospital bills. They will pay electricity bill. They will send their children to schools. So you'll be fixing a lot of things when people have jobs. And that is where Mr. Cummings has his expertise. And nobody can even doubt that. Recently, Mr. Cummings attended a conference in Kigali, Rwanda. At that program, you had more than 2,000 investors in the continent and across the globe. Mr. Cummings was invited as one of the panelists. This is a man who says he can attract investment. So you see him in the midst of investors. Attracting those investors to Liberia will not be the difficult thing. You only need 10 of those investors to come here and establish massive investment and will automatically solve the question of unemployment in our country. Unlike this government, these are places you expect your government people to be. The investment commission to go and pitch Liberia so as to convince investors to come here and invest in our country. But no, they won't do that. When the president is going to receive certificate abroad, then all of them will get on a private jet and go and cheer the president to receive it. But when investors are gathering in the continent and across the globe, you don't find our government to these kinds of places. And that is where Mr. Cummings stands out. He's going to create jobs for our people. And you don't even need some of the job we're talking about are low skills job. You don't even need a college degree to get employed in a factory. So when people are employed, then the much talk around unemployment goes down. People not being able to pay medical bill goes down. People not being able to take care of their family goes down. And dignity will once again return in Liberian homes. Those are the kind of things we're talking about under a Cummings presidency. The man understands the economy, he understands investment, he understands finance, he understands how to raise our country budget to heights unimaginable.
So thank you so very kindly, Honorable Chairperson, for joining us on the National Discourse this evening. We look forward to having you in studio very soon, where we will, discuss matters concerning our nation state. We like to say again, thank you for joining us, and hope to see you and have a conversation with you next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade.
So, fellow Liberians, that was the voice of the youth chairperson of the Alternative National Congress, Ali Ukaidi, who happens to be a member of the ANC and serve in the capacity to lead the young people of that particular political institution. As I initially stated on the platform this evening, I said I would have been doing something very unusual, and I'm about to place another call again so that you can listen to the next individual who is going to join us on our platform this evening. The issue of the economy is a very vital issue in our country, and first, an independent individual, no political party alignment, but he is an economist as per professional practice. And he is going to weigh in with his own perspective, his analytical understanding of the nation's economy, and what is his own, impression of the Buckeyes-led administration, pertinent to have to how the economy of the nation is proceeding. As I said, he has no political party alignment, and he is about fellow Liberians to tell us his own perspective pertinent to how our nation's economy is proceeding, whether it is on the right track, whether it is not on the right track. He is going to give his candid opinion. So we have fellow Liberians established contact with Joel Kotati-Do, a young Liberian economist who is all the way there in Nuku Town community, and a graduate from the United Methodist University, as per man knowing, one of the brilliant economists by reasoning. Joel Do, good evening. We are glad having you on the National Discourse this evening on Kia 95.9 FM.
Yeah, thank you, man, dear brother. As a church, thank you for the invite. I mean, it is an honor to become part of your public discourse this evening. And let me say, as up to the many listeners throughout the length and breadth of our 15 political subdivision. Thank you for your contribution to the media landscape to Mama Liberia. It's an honor being here this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I purposely established contact with you, Joel, simply because, the economy is a vital component of our nation or of our society. It is a facet that every Liberian intend, to benefit from. And I want you on this public platform to provide your candid perspective pertinent to the time for which this particular administration took on the responsibility, to steer the affairs of our state up to current. What has been your own impression? And as it relates to that particular response to the question asked, follow-up questions will proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Isaac George. Thank you so much. So, with respect to our state of the country economy, it is important that we always speak to the issue about economy, because, every time, we assemble, whether on the Palapa hut, whether in our homes, whether on the street, all of those things that we discuss always narrow down to the bread and butter issues. Mm-hmm. And when you hear the bread and butter issues, is the issue that affect our country's economy. Mm-hmm. Now, we have a very huge budget with respect to PQ.
Yeah.
About 1.2 billion. But the question is the national cake meeting the needs of our people? Or I will get on numbers, our budget move from 700 million, our budget move from 800 million, our budget now is in the billions. But are these figures really affecting the life of the ordinary Liberian, or it is going to the pocket of the bishop or those who are in the lips or who are at the echelon of power? Now, the thing is, over 80% of our budget go to recurrent expenditure. That is salary and benefits. What comes to the Liberian people? That's the question. Of recent, we listened to the Minister of Finance speaking on the issue about economic growth, the issue about inflation rate trapped. Now, the question is, yes, those numbers are reducing, but it is actually affecting the price of basic commodity on the market. Sometimes when you try to speak to macroeconomic issues, sometimes people take out context or want to play politics. But my dear brother, as a church, you don't intellectualize hunger. Mm-hmm. You don't intellectualize the economy.
Okay.
When there's no money, there's no. Now, you say inflation rate track. Yes, it has reduced. At first, they were in a double digit. They were about 10.5, 10.7. Now it has reduced. But have they affected the price of basic commodity on the market? That's the question. So you will come and speak to the economic numbers, But the actual reality is that it is affecting the ordinary people. Yes. So now the thing is, those numbers have reduced, but prices on the market are still the same. We are still seeing a high increase in the price of basic commodity on the market. Now, we are still buying crackers at 200 when the inflation rate was 10.5%. Now they are dropped to a single digit. We still buying crackers at the same price. We still pay the same transportation. So the thing is, there have been measures put in place. Now, Liberia as a country, the oldest country in Africa, now have a very good economy in the past. And currently, Liberia, with respect to the current economy, my dear brother, Liberia is an import-based economy. When we say import-based economy, we mean that is almost everything that we consume in this country are being imported here. What are we producing as a country? Now, the question is, do we have the factors of production to produce? In economic, when we speak to factor of production, we are talking about those resources that can help us to produce goods and services. So do we have the factors of production to produce? Yes. We have land. We have land in abundance. Do we have capital? Well, yes. I can say. How? Those money that we are giving to the legislature, those people will just go 2 days in a week and then make laws and legislature giving a huge sum of money. A huge portion of money. Look at it, the speaker budget over 500,000. That's not nobody continue. Those funds can be used for capital. We can use them to buy a lot of equipment to carry on agriculture activity in our country. So that's the question. Do you have land? Yes, we have land. Do you have labor? Yes, we have labor. There are too many persons who are willing to work. There are too many persons here. So the question is, we have the factors of production, but we are not using them to produce goods and services in our country to help, attract our own currency, and also we can help to do importation and exportation of goods and services to balance our payment.
Okay.
For the fact that, hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We're listening. We follow.
So for the fact that almost everything we consume in this country are being imported, we'll always complain on the issue of exchange rate. We'll always complain on the issue of money supply on the market. Why? Because those people who are bringing their goods here back through the port, you see how time on it, and my dear brother George, the essence of business is to maximize profit. Therefore, as a George is a businessman. As a George goes back through people. And now there's a hard tariff. And you want to maximize profit as nobody going to visit the loss. For the fact that they put a hard tariff on your goods who come to this country, what happens? You want to get your money and to get profit, so you also inflate the price. So these are macroeconomic issues that we are confronted with as a country. We are not producing anything, including our own staple. As also being imported here. So there are a lot of things. So we are an import-based economy. We are food insecure. We are food insecure.
Yeah.
What are we doing? With the huge budget we have, just go to a few group of people, they divide among themselves, will not coming back into our country. So that's the problem. So that's the problem in our country.
Yes, so yes. Go ahead, please.
Yes, now we have agriculture back. If you look at Liberia economy back, they will tell you that agriculture contributed significantly to our country economy. But now, are we investing in the agriculture sector? Look at the agriculture budget. According to the Maputo Declaration that was signed in 2003, July, as far as research is concerned, Liberia is one of the signatories of those West African countries that signed the Maputo Declaration. That 10% of our national budget should be allocated to food security, agriculture, and food security. Now, look at the budget for the past, let's say over 6 years plus now. Let's say 7 to 8 years. Have any of our past presidents lived up to that particular declaration that we signed? Let's look at George Weah administration. Have they lived up to that? Let's come to President Blanca administration. Are we living up to that declaration? We are allocating less than 85% of our national budget to agriculture. But yet and still, we still want to boost productivities. Yet and still want to contribute to economic growth. Economic growth in economics is the productive capacity of the country's economy over the period of time. What are we producing as a country? I mean, like I said, we have the factors of production to produce. We are taking all of our money, giving it to the legislature Few group of people go and then just make laws, nothing. They are not making no good laws in our country, but yet they still we ban them. In fact, I give it a simple analysis of this. Now, looking at the kind of struggle economy, few group of people said they want to create additional 16 seats. Creating additional 16 seats. Do you know the economic burden it has in our country? Do you know the economic burden? Now, the over millions of dollars that will be given to those 16 new lawmakers. You're going to use to create new office. Now you say China people give you money over 7 million. I listened to the speaker. He said China gave me 7 million. That 7 million can create a good job for Liberians. We can have over 500 plus Liberians that will earn at least 450 or 500 salary. You can put that money in the budget. Now you come to create additional 16. It is a major priority for our country. It is the present need in high economic hardship. It is the present need of creating additional new seats. These are additional economic burden. Where our state-run university and Liberia are languishing economic destitution, but yet then still you want to allocate additional funds to new seats that will be created. Are we really care about the economic challenges that we are confronted as a country?
Yes, Joel, we still have time with you. Honestly, we still have time with you. So I like to ask this specific question. You've been able to, identify some of the pitfalls of regimes in the past and the current administration. And one of the points that you struck, and I think, it is very much significant for this conversation, is the productive capacity of our nation. That is the only time we can have a conversation surrounding economic growth, because when we are not producing anything to transport out of our country, that means our productive capacity is perhaps elusive or stagnant, or stagnated. All right. So the nation is unable. But this government, as part of the president's arrest agenda, is agricultural productivity. All right. One of the E's in the arrest agenda is agricultural productivity. And you've been able to talk about agriculture in its essence, being part of the Maputo Declaration, where Liberia is signatory and it should take at least 10% of our annual budget each year. But then this government is not doing it. For me, do you think that it is a disservice to the Liberian people, or it is a disregard for a government's own payload within its agenda?
So, I think it's not only a disservice, but it's also a violation
Mhm.
of the Maputo Declaration. You are violating it was a law that was established, and you as a country, you signed as a church. And for the fact that as eloquent, smart young man you are, for the fact that you read a document and fix your signature, it means you have agreed to uphold in a Barbara document. That's the foundation established. So for the fact that we went there, we read all of those lands, and we said, yes, we'll sign and we agreed upon it. We expect every government, not only in Pastor Barker administration, from the President administration, George Weah administration, we have found later this law that was signed. That 10% of our national budget should go to agriculture and food security. But then still, we are terms with our number of people have called that the government should look at the agriculture sector. The agriculture sector will contribute more to our nation's economy. It will contribute more. The agriculture sector doing the traditional economy contributed over 70%. Over 70%. So we are saying, let get back to the soil. It's important. It's important. So we are calling on the president, Mr. President, now for the fact that in your arrest agenda, now you say it is the first pillar. It's the first pillar, but the first pillar, what are we doing there? What fund are we saying? Look at the budget line. Like we said, less than 8 or less than 7% have been allocated to agriculture and food security. But still, we give more money to recurrent expenditure, more money to the big shot, more money to those who are in the higher order for their pocket and for their car. We are buying vodka here. Every after 3 years, we buy vodka. By the end of the day, we're not seeing nothing. We're not seeing nothing. We are seeing Liberian in total economic destitutions. Yes, there are some gains, but we have to make significant contribution. Other country in Africa, we cannot still be an import-based economy, an aid-dependent country. Not only import-based, but we are also an aid-dependent. We're also dependent on aid. We're also dependent on aid.
Yes.
The ARD.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Even in the ARD, there is a clause that says that I think 30% to contribute to that ARD, because I think the ARD talked about. They said, oh, I don't know how many. I think 8 billion. That 8 billion you spoke about remittance. I think 30%. Maybe if you're entering in America, your uncle in America, the small thing they say, the small cost, everything. So are we going to be depending on, people sending funds for donor? In fact, every person at one year, those funds sometimes can be misappropriated. Sometimes we don't use those funds adequately to meet the needs of the Liberian people. But then still we focus on things that are not important. That's the problem with the country. We focus more on things that are less important. We should be discussing the real brand, but the issue in our country itself, not because talking about creating new seats. If a factor important to this country now to have additional new seats. So there are some strides that the government is making with respect to the economy. But then still we have to make significant important with respect to the country economy.
Yes. So your listeners will be particularly curious to listen to you talking about some of the strides that you think the government has made in terms of the economy. So let us hear you.
So now, the first thing with respect to salary, I must admit, this government at their cost with respect to salaries. Yes. We have seen. As if you are earning 150 for the fact that your salary is current, that will make you smile whenever the month ends, go to the bank to get your money.
Okay.
They are not making things of struggle with respect to salary. That is a plus. For the fact that I will get my late $100 that I work for at the end of the month, that will get helpful. Okay. As you also create a government. Yeah. And also those things that contribute to economic growth. The issue about infrastructure, particularly roads, farm to market road. As the government is making some strides, never get strides with respect to roads.
Okay.
They are making some strides. Because for the fact that they do as they have their farm in Bomi County, and the road is pliable, it's very good. When we can take our locally produced commodity from Bomi to Monrovia in less than an hour, it means one thing is that will not be able to charge more if the road is in a bad condition. For example, if the road is in a bad condition, the first thing, driver will be charging you about $10,000 to bring your goods into Monrovia. Now, we're looking at cost benefit analysis. They charging you more. And if they are charging you more and you bring your goods, like I said, the essence of business is to maximize profit. So what happens? We as the business people, we take it into consideration the transportation costs, those small costs attached, everything will be placed on a commodity before you come up with the face but to get your profit. But for the fact that you can take less than 1 hour to bring a good and they charge you 3,000, you will be able to sell maybe at a very good price. Even those people do profit out of that, but yet and still you will be able to sell at a very honest price.
So
for the fact that just to let my thought.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
For the fact that government is making some trouble with respect to road, I know it's important because we are seeing some of our locally produced commodity coming to Monrovia in less than 3 days, in less than 4 or 5 hours. All right, they are coming to Monrovia, so I should also get a plus because the road contributes significantly to our country economy.
Thank you. Lend your thought.
Hello.
Yes, lend your thought.
Yeah, and also the issue about policy, they are also making, some strides as well. Because, the issue of foreign direct investment is also important to our country economy. Because government does not have the capacity to absorb everybody to work, has it?
Yeah.
So when we have a good rule of law system in our country that can help to guide our business, we will have good rules, we will have electricity stable. What happens? There will be a lot of government can attract foreign direct investment for one of these factors that just the issue about rule, the issue about electricity, the laws on the book, our uncles, we are following the laws. What happens is that you attract foreign direct investors. And when foreign direct investors come, they open their companies. Who are they going for? Liberians. So if they come and establish a company, for example, in Bapolu, then what happens? We have Liberians in Bapolu that go to work and something to pay their rent, pay their school fee, and meet their needs.
But do we have stable electricity in the leeward counties across our country? Do we really do have stable electricity?
So as far as data is concerned, I mean, I don't want to give this information to the public.
Okay.
I'm not an employee of LEC, but for the future, sometimes we can see, LEC, putting out on their Facebook page, because most of that, in their pages, you can see that they are trying to make some strides with respect to carrying current to some of our rural area.
Okay.
And we can say that, for politics, current have been a little bit stable. For politics, we should be honest to this school, all right?
Yeah.
With respect, that's why the green or the blue man better like real first, like real last.
That is why that is why we called individuals like your kind to give your candid opinion on a national platform such as this one. Hello, Joel, are you there?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like I said, those are also contributing to our economy. The issue about salary, is being current. The issue about rule, we are seeing some strap, so not just strap but significant strap. The issue about electricity, they are also trying as well. So we should give the government some level of hassle or plus for those many development they are taking on throughout the 15 political subdivision of Liberia.
So before we leave you, Joel, I always like to ask this question because I'm much more concerned when it comes to the bread and butter issue of our nation, as each and every other Liberian is concerned. Economically, this government is running in its third year. Can we say that the Liberian people, from an economic standpoint, have been rescued, or they have not been rescued?
So from an economic perspective, the Liberian people are trying to be rescued. They are trying to not yet rescued, but they are trying to be rescued. Yeah, they are trying to. Why do I say so? I go back to the few things that are there out loud with respect to macroeconomic indicators. All right. The issue about presidential stability, the issue about unemployment, there are still challenges, which is are still they're fine. But at least sometimes we see salary current, we see some stuff with respect to rules, water, electricity, and everything. So they are trying to be rescued, but there are issues. There are issues, and what are those issues? Like I said, the Ministry of Finance did that report. In IMF, IMF also report that there will be reduction with respect to inflation rate. But my concern is that we are seeing reduction in the numbers, but we are not seeing reduction in the people life.
Of course.
All right. So the numbers are reducing. For example, it was in double digits, that is 7.5%. But now we are seeing 8.7%, we are seeing 7.7%. But it is reflecting in the livelihood of the people. That's the issue that we have. You cannot say inflation have dropped, but yet still we are still paying $200 on keke to go to town. If on where I live, I'm coming from Kawa Junction, so I pay $200 to go to town. Yeah, you tell me that prices on the market dropped. Yeah, I'm still buying $200, but it's still prices on the market drop. So these are the issues that the government need to look at. Instead of just really add numbers to those market women or those people who don't understand those economic variables, we'll be able to explain to them. That's what normally you see when people try to speak to some of those BP economic jargon and ask you. It is actually reflecting the livelihood of the people. That's the issue. So the government need to look at some of those things. The Ministry of Commerce also need to work with respect to prices. Because the inflation rate cannot be dropping if prices stay the same.
Of course.
As the rate is decreasing, we should also see the same in the price of commodity on the market. That's the issue.
Yeah. So as per what you were saying, right? You said when because salary is recurrent, according to you, right? Salary is recurrent. That when the month ends, the man who works as a civil servant will take his take-home pay, but the government is saying that inflation has decreased to a greater extent. However, things prices on the market still remains the same or perhaps are increasing. So that particular money for which he is smiling taking, when he takes it to the market where things prices are increasing, and in fact he earns at least 150 at the course of the end of the month, will he still smile as he is expending that particular 150? Because I mean the incremental nature of commodities on the market is something that is much more telling, and it is alarming to anyone who has the purchasing power at a specific point in time. So for me and the audience listening, I want you to please draw a line of reconciliation between those assertions made by you.
So now, in the context of it, is the function of quantity demand, is the function of price. That is supposed to demand for goods and services, simple analysis. Supposed to demand for goods and services, it based upon price. I would say quantity demand is a function of price. Only all other factor constant. We say purchasing power is a function of income. When you not get money, you can have a. That's a simple way to understand it. When you get money, you get back. Now, quantity demand is the function of price. In simple, that is where for both the demand for goods and services, there should be a flexible prices on the market. Now, I read the reported that in 2023, inflation rate was 10.1%. They said in 2024, the government made some significant economic strike. So inflation rate dropped from double digit to one digit, that is to a single digit, that is 8.2%. They also reported that within a year, inflation rate also dropped to 4.4%. So that's why we are saying, but how now if inflation rate is dropping, but it's not reflecting in the price of basic commodity on the market? With respect to your question, the ordinary including myself will not be happy.
Okay.
Because the rate will not be dropping, then I will pay my 150, I go to the market, I stay buying the same thing. I say paying for the same thing. So it means, my income will not be able to commensurate with my expenditure. Because you having the same money, but expenditure somehow still the same. In fact, prices are even going up. But yet they still say the inflation rate is reducing. That's a whole contradiction.
Okay.
That's a whole contradiction that need to be sharpened and reduced to a zero sum. Through the Ministry of Finance. Because you cannot be telling us through those economic numbers that, oh yes, or through IMF report that, oh yes, the number is dropping, but yet we are still buying today at a very high cost. So the Ministry of Finance to clarify that and explain to us what's actually going on. What are those macroeconomic variables that is responsible for that? Or it is those who are in the market that is responsible for that? If yes, then what is the Ministry of Commerce and Finance doing to go after those people who are exploiting the ordinary Liberians for their self-advertisement? Because if anything goes wrong, everybody look up to the government.
Definitely.
Everybody look up to the government. So we expect that the government to regulate the prices of basic commodity on the market. So it is important. But I myself, I'm affected by that as well. Yeah. So it is important that government put our feet, on the ground and see how they can regulate some of those issues that is affecting the market.
So Joel Doe, thank you so very kindly for your independent and candid analysis thus far on the National Discourse this evening on Kia 95.9 FM. I look forward, to having you in studio very soon so that we can discuss most of these economic matters so that the public can have an impression of your own, scholastic perspectives when it comes to our nation's economy and your own independent analysis of our political climate as well. Again, we'd like to say thank you for joining us. We look forward to having you in studio one of these days. Joel Doe, thank you very much, my brother.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure being part of your conversation. Thank you so much for the job you do to the media landscape for our country. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much as well. Yes. So, fellow Liberians, I mean, that is it. You listen to those individuals that are called through the course of our show this evening, and the recent individual who just left the line, Joel Doe, spoke. If you were following about the nation's economy, he talked a great deal about economic growth, the macroeconomic indicators that are being, experienced by the Liberian people, the purchasing power, the recurrent nature of salaries across the government for civil servants, as well as the government's own inability, to ensure that to provide a condition where Liberians can work and earn, their meager resources through the opening of factories, and Liberia can as well become an export-based economy, where you as a nation to be an export-based economy. In fact, you are going to attract foreign direct investment across your economy, or across your country rather, and that is a major, a talking point, I should say. And the previous the speaker before the previous speaker, the chairperson of the Alternative National Congress, Ali Ukaidi, also did speak to major issues surrounding the nation. He talked a great deal about the Joel Howard Taylor saga, signaling that justice should be served, impartially. It should not be served partially. And he amplified the argument of Mr. Alexander Bennett Cummings, the political leader of the Alternative National Congress, and he talked about those of the deputies, that came into our country. We will soon open the line so that we can take a course from now up on to 9 o'clock. We look forward to your own participation. This is Kia 95.9 FM, and this is the National Discourse. We've been having a conversation surrounding major national issues across our country, and we had two young Liberians with us through the line discussing about political issues, economic issues, because that is where our own interest lies. And we like to say kudos to those of the two individuals, Joel and Aliyu, for joining us on the platform this evening. So we're about to open the phone line. If you've been following, please dial 0777 959 959 0881871670. The numbers to call us this evening on the National Discourse: 0777 959 959 0881871670. The numbers to join us this evening on the National Discourse, and this is where the issues concerning our nation I discussed. Very vital national issues. As I said, please dial 0777 959 959 0881871670. The numbers to call us this evening. Let us get this call through. Good evening. Your name is, and where are you joining us from? Yes, Mr. David, please go ahead. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
You have an economy that is based on high level of imported goods.
Mm-hmm.
And in as much as the economy is based on imported material, what kind of cheese you expect to have here? So you always have a fluctuation in the rate.
Mm-hmm.
The economic rate will always drop, but the price on the market will always be the same because business people have a massive profit.
Okay.
Business people have to don't forget we are running a capitalist economy.
Yeah.
complex economy, you got a free market system. Those who are really people, those who invest in some of money economy will maximize their profit. You have the technical producing anything. Imagine, how you call it, tons of frozen food. Tons of frozen food. Why is it our bro cannot produce their own cargoes, pre-cargoes on the industrial level? They're talking about just the issue of industrial revolution, taking individual family and nation. So the government, they are joking, they know what they're doing. They see that when they put food rice on the street, they pay those that ought to they pay lawmakers the youth salary, they pay government operated youth salary, pay civil servant and low wage benefit and it's successful. And what happening? This country are not built a social democratic kind of society. From government to government, connected individualistic society. Mind you now, there was individualism that led America to poverty. One be the Great Depression in America, what people are stealing lack of food. Similar to that, yeah. You got an economy that people already made foods, but they don't. So, what a job opportunity for that brand. What is a job opportunity? So that you didn't find a government, they just running the see what they see, government was running great democracy.
Okay.
They are running on a broad capitalist philosophy, which is keep the people in the poverty. So
Okay.
they need to change their staff. They need to go and read politics philosophy well, they're not really well. That just in politics, they need to do away from it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dagbear, for joining us this evening. Let us take the next call. Good evening. Your name is and where are you joining us from? Hello? 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 07779599959 08818716770. The numbers to call this evening to have a say on the National Discourse, a platform that enables you to have your views being heard as it relates to all of the major national issues across our country. We've been talking about the Joel Howard Taylor saga. She has been taken to the Monrovia Central Prison on today, the 25th of August, 2026. Let us, we lost that caller. Good evening. Oh, we lost that caller as well. We've been talking about corruption across our country. Please dial 07779599959 08818716770 are the numbers to call us this evening. Okay, let us take that. Well, we keep losing that call. 07779599959. If you are listening to me, please call back. 07779 07779599959 08818716770. The numbers to call us this evening to participate on the National Discourse. This platform is meant to have a conversations. Okay. Good evening. Your name is and where are you joining us from? Yes, my brother Alfred Fala. Please go ahead. Mm-hmm. Okay. You are saying that the government should have sufficient evidence to ensure that Joel. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so very kindly. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, my brother. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Yeah, please go ahead. I hope it is part of our talking point. Mm-hmm. 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 They have not been able to provide opportunity for you people. Okay. Okay, my brother. Thank you very much. Let us take this call. Uh, Good evening. Your name is and where are you joining us from? Good evening. Your name is and where are you joining us from? Okay, Mr. Shannon. Please go ahead. Yes, Mr. Shannon, you are live. Please go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So should corruption continue because it is an old age problem? Okay. Okay. Yeah, you got 30 seconds, please. Okay, thank you very much. 077795959, 0881871670, 077795959, 0881871670. The numbers to call us this evening to participate on the national discourse. If you've been following us this evening, we've been having conversation as it relates. Okay, we have a call there. Oh, we lost that caller. 077795959, 0881871670. Let us take this call. We keep losing this caller. I don't know. whether this caller is harmonized by his call, but I hope that you can get through. 0777 959 959, 0881 are the numbers to call us this evening to participate on the platform as we are discussing critical national issues, and we look forward to your own participation on the platform this evening, fellow Liberians. The numbers to dial are zero. Let us get this call. We keep losing our callers here. I think we have some. Good evening, your name is, and where are you joining us from? Yes, my brother, Collie, please go ahead, Amos. Okay.
Yeah, just can't get me shaking my people. I don't know where we the only level people people. And I'm proposing it's one of the for the woman that audience who come here who told you that who told you to put it in for them. And somebody from Commission and who come out, shower you when you have a shower to come out, you know, the way for coming to the who told you to do that? La prayer, I'm going to let you know if you are alive, go see the boss, do community prayer. Let me go to the
Yeah, the court process is already ongoing.
And play your music. And we'll go on thing. If you got involved, that was good enough. All of these are in the song completely that was becoming for which was when I got the power. Yeah, our very power. I guess that was good like calling and checking the people who did it.
Okay, my brother. Thank you so very much for joining us.
We have to keep our we are all
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 0777 959 959, 0881 Good evening, your name is, and where are you joining us from? You say your name is what? Yeah, Charles, please go ahead. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so very much. Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, your name is and where are you joining us from? Oh, let us take this call. Good evening, your name is and where are you joining us from? Yeah, Jimmy Flomo, please go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, please make your point. Please make your point. Mm-hmm. Okay, 30 seconds. Please conclude. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Let us take this call. Good evening, your name is and where are you joining us from? Okay, Mr. Nangwe, thank you for joining us on our platform this evening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you are saying the police RG should recuse himself from the ongoing investigation? Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah, please conclude in 30 seconds. We have other callers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so very kindly for joining us. Let us take our next caller. Good evening, your name is and where are you calling us from? Okay, Mamba. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mamba. Thank you, Mamba, for joining us this evening. 077795959 0881871670. We have at least 5 minutes to go. We can take at least two calls. Okay, let us take this call. Good evening, Animation. Where are you joining us from? Yeah, Mr. Ba, please go ahead. No, no, hello, hello. We are not here to attack personalities. If you have a point to make, you make the point without calling someone else's name on our platform, please.
So all the people in police, I mean, the Ivory Coast, all that NSA force, all the people that they are investigating them. Even the ones that they are investigating, they cannot be allowed fishing. I don't know, people say when you hire for the people get trouble again. What can I go do here? Yeah? You're not making it, that's the only people. Why they are only people that were investors? And I mean, the other many people of the get crime or somebody who could have been better, you have the other money. How can you say that out? Yeah? We can't be like this. They will learn that people that come from what they do, they're going to food. For everything will cry, I mean, when they get it, we'll get it. When they get it, we'll get it. When they get it, we'll get it. What can I go do here? Yeah? I will show time without trying to want somebody, want that food.
Okay, thank you, my brother, for making your point. Thank you. 07779599959. Okay, let us take this call. Okay, we lost that caller. We have at least 4 or 5 more minutes to go. Place in your call. I think we can take at least 2 more calls before we leave from here tonight. Let us take this call. Hello, caller. Your name is and where are you joining us from? Yes, your name is and where are you joining us from? Yeah, Mr. Taylor, please go ahead. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, please conclude in 30 seconds. We have other callers on the line. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. 07779599959 0881871670. The numbers to call us this evening: 077959959 0881871670. These are the numbers to call us this evening. We have at least 2 minutes to go on the platform this evening. If you were calling, we will take one privileged call before we leave from here this evening. 0777 959 959 0881871670. Hello. My man, go ahead. You the last caller. Go ahead. Wow. You sure that a draw money? So you are saying lawmakers, senators, representatives are part of the drugs cartel? Okay, my brother. Thank you so very kindly. No. We do not have call anymore. We do not have time anymore. It is already 9 o'clock in the city of Monrovia. Join us tomorrow. Please join us tomorrow as we have another fascinating conversation on the National Discourse. We are no longer taking calls. Fellow Liberians. We are no longer taking calls. It was such an interesting moment here this evening on the National Discourse on Kia 95.9. Again, I'm Isaac S. George, and I was in your company as part of our day's broadcast. Join us tomorrow, same time, same station, as we bring to you yet another fascinating conversation where your participation as well will be particularly significant. Thank you very much. Oh my word.
LIB, stand up. Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.